Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today will be a first impressions / tutorial on this new palette from Colourpop called the Ooh La La palette. I tried this palette out in this video and I gave you guys my first impressions, and I also created this very bright pink look using almost every single shade in this palette. But before I get into this video too much, I do want to say that I post videos on my channel every single day, and there will be a new one tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. So if you want to see my new videos, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and be back tomorrow at 8 AM Central Standard Time for a new video. Now, this particular video will be a first impressions review and tutorial on this palette, like I said before, but since I am very in-depth with these kinds of videos, I do like to put a lot of information in these videos for you guys. I will be linking timestamps down below if you're interested in maybe like skipping the tutorial and just going straight ahead to my first impressions, like my thoughts on this palette, which will be closer to the end of this video. So if you want to skip the tutorial and you want to see like my first impression thoughts, what I thought of this palette, what it felt like for me, like how my experience using it, then I will have a timestamp linked down below for you guys to just skip ahead. So that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it now, and I'll show you guys how I created this look right here. So let's just get into it. I am like the most clueless person when it comes to like traditional pop culture and all that. So I like barely know what Mean Girls is. The only reason I know what Mean Girls is because I watched the movie like once, didn't like it too much, but this came out like on Mean Girls Day or something, like October 3rd, and I was like, I love the pinks, you know, and October 3rd was my birthday, and I was like, oh, thanks Colourpop for making this for my birthday, because this is actually a palette from Colourpop that I really got excited by, which hasn't happened in a while. So I was like, let's pick it up. So today's gonna be a first impressions on this baby right here. I think I'll be going into this color right here called Sandbar. So this is basically going into like my outer corner and just a little bit going into my crease as well. I'm just like really packing this color in. This is the first layer. You guys saw I did not set my foundation, so that is pretty much what I do to get like a lot of pigmentation when it comes to my eyeshadow. And this way you can just pack the color on and the eyeshadow will literally stick to the foundation. It doesn't require a lot of layering, but I'm just layering it on because, you know, I'm extra and I need that like extra pigmentation because that's just my personality. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. Now this is like a really itty bitty like brush. Oh my goodness, I just dropped it. This is like a really itty bitty brush that I like using. This is the Morphe M506, and I think I'll just pick up the same color using this brush and just blend out the edges of this sort of situation that we have coming up on my eyelid right now. This is like me getting pink eye on purpose, which has never happened and hopefully never will. This color is blending out really well. Just for kicks and giggles, we're going to be taking like a big fluffier brush. This is going to be the Morphe M441. I will link a video down below where you can see my favorite makeup brushes, and I use Morphe brushes because honestly they're super cheap and they work for me. So yeah, I'm going to be dipping into Poodle right here, and you know what, I'm just going to run this into my crease because I just want to see how this color works out. I just want to like, you know, see the situation, grasp a hold of things right here. I'm also just diffusing it a little bit on the edge right here. So far these shades are blending out really well. I'm into it. I like this life. I think it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, honestly, because to be honest, they're kind of driving me insane at the moment. I think next I want to dip into this color called Caddy. I'm just gonna like clean off the brush a little bit that I was using earlier and just dip into this color right here. This is like a purple matte, honestly, and this is going into my lower lash line. I'm going in with like small layers at first, and then I'm just building it up. I just want to extend it just slightly and lightly just to sort of blend it in to the pink on my top lash line. So this is a situation. Okay, so now I'm just taking a little bit of like the residue of color on my brush, and I'm literally just like fluffing out the edge of this eye shadow and just extending it like right here. I really like have no idea if you guys can see this on camera or not, but like I'm literally just extending the color like this way. I'm gonna do a brow bone highlight really quickly. I know I didn't do it like right when I started this video. I probably should have done it like first thing, but I'm like sleep deprived, so my brain is not working right now. I'm just gonna take this color called Moonstruck. This is like a metallic, and this is, by the way, a dry brush that I'm using to apply this with, and I'm just popping this into my brow bone. Okay, see, I think that this is like a really pretty highlight color. Okay, so now that we have like this beautiful like light gold as a highlight shade, I'm going to go back in with this like fluffy brush and just pick up like a mixture between these two shades, between Poodle and Sandbar, and I'm going to run this into my crease. I'm doing this because I don't want the brow bone highlight to be just sitting there. I want it to sort of mesh in with the rest of the look. So this is like kind of like my way of just bringing the colors in together a little bit more and making this a little bit of a cohesive look. I'm just going to take this color Sandbar and I'm going to just apply this into my like inner socket as well. So I'm going to go into this color called Trove. I want to like use as many of these colors as possible. So this is basically going to be layered into my lower lash line with a pencil brush, because I have like seen a lot of like really beautiful bright looks made with this palette. I haven't seen many tutorials. I've seen a few though, but most of the pictures that I've seen with this palette just have like a lot of like super bright vibrant looks, and I kind of want to inject a little bit of smokiness into this as well. Okay, then I'm going to go in with this color called Caddy, except I think I want to apply this closer to the inner portion of my eye, still in the lower lash line, but just like a little bit closer to the inner half. I'm also just diffusing it a little bit into the inner corner as well. I mean, we're going to be doing like an inner corner highlight later on in this video, but I do want to just diffuse things out a little bit, so I'm just lightly applying the color into my inner corner. The light is changing so much, but it's like really raining outside, so that's the situation. I look like I have pink eye. Don't you just love this? Okay, I know I resemble a raccoon a little bit, but hold on. We're gonna get out of this, and hopefully this look will turn out beautiful, because these eyeshadows are really working so far, and I'm kind of just like going very bottom heavy, so I know that's really intense, but I have a plan. Okay, so I'm going in with a little bit of glitter glue. This is like the NYX glitter glue. Not like all over the lid, just in that white part that I left blank earlier. And then I'm going to go with my fingers and just pick up this shade called Opulent. This is one of like the really like just stars of the show colors, because it is such like an intense shimmery hot pink. So I'm curious to see how it will look. What I want to do for this is I just want to apply a little bit in the inner part of my lid and a little bit in the outer part. For the central portion of my lid, I want to go in with this color called Big Sugar using my ring finger, like I'm using two fingers here. And I'm just going to place Big Sugar into the center of my lid. That way we have this dimension going on. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to pick up this shade called Tickled. And I'm just going to place this into the inner corner using my fingertips. I feel like this shade has like a little bit of a shift to it, which is interesting. I really want to deepen things up even further, so I'm going to take this color right here called Caddy on a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to place it into the outer V portion of my eye, just blending it into the socket. Okay, so I'm going to go in quickly with the rest of my face and put on some mascara, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have just basically finished the entirety majority of my face as well as my lips. I will put all the information for all the products down below, but I just wanted to show you what this look looks like without false lashes, so you guys can sort of get a feel for it. This is very bold, but I'm just going to add a little bit of falsies for some dramatic effect. These are going to be the House of Lashes Iconics. Okay, so now this is pretty much the finished look with the lashes on. I am living for this. I love like the monochromatic pink situation that we have going on. I think it looks really beautiful. But let me give you my final first impression thoughts on this palette right here. Now, in terms of packaging, it's very similar to the Mar palette from Colourpop. This is a palette that I did a review on, I think it was like about a month or so ago. I will link it up here if you're interested in checking that out. But the plastic look is the same, like the shimmery font on the front is also the same, and then the back is the same as well. You have like the colors stuck on with a sticker, and like, you know, everything is there on the back. And then when you open it, what I do like is that they probably must have looked at like some reviews or some people's opinions, because you see in this palette right here, sorry it's kind of messy, I've been using it a lot. In this palette right here, you do see that they didn't have the colors listed below the eyeshadows, which was a sort of like negative that a lot of people were having issue with. People just didn't like having to look at the back and just see, like, try and find the colors and just match them to the front. It was a little bit confusing for some people, and here they fixed that by just naming the shades directly below each eyeshadow color, which I feel like was a very good idea on their part, because obviously they looked at what their consumers were saying and they applied it to this palette right here. Now when it comes to the actual shadows, you have 9 shades, you have 5 matte shades, and then you have 2 of the sort of shimmery metallic shades, and then you have 2 of these like blingy sort of like foiled colors. I do think that the mattes performed really well. They layered on really nicely and they blended out. They were pigmented right off the bat, and keep in mind that I did have a sticky base on my eyelids, and usually when that happens you get a lot of pigmentation on the first round. You don't have to layer too much. However, you do have to blend out a little bit, and sometimes it can be a little bit finicky because obviously the shadow grabs onto the sticky base and you kind of have to work at it a little bit to get it to blend. But with these shadows, I didn't have that issue. I was able to blend it out really quickly, really easily. You guys saw that I didn't spend a lot of time blending things out. It went really well. It was super pigmented and yet still quite blendable. These foiled shades were really nice as well. I really enjoyed using these. This tickled color, I do have to admit, is a little bit more blingy than this gold color right here. But these other 2 shades, beautiful colors, went on really nicely. The entire palette, I mean, like, I am really excited about how this palette turned out on my eyes. I'm really happy with how this looks. I used every single color in this palette except I believe this one right here, and they all went together really nicely. They blended in together without disappearing, and I think that I had a really easy time with this palette. I love how this look turned out. You obviously don't have to go very bold with this palette right here. You don't have to create this look with this palette. You can easily just go in with like a lot of these like more muted shades and create a beautiful look as well. I will be trying this palette out further, so if there is anything in this palette that comes up, any kind of like nuance, I will be letting you guys know about that. But so far, I'm obsessed. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. I hope that it was helpful to you. I post videos daily now, so there will be a video up tomorrow on my channel at 8 AM Central Standard Time. So be back tomorrow if you want to see more videos from me. I will be putting up a review, I believe. I do have some mixed thoughts about that product, so I will save that for tomorrow's video. But be back if you want to see more videos from me. I do post videos daily, and you know, it's a lot of work, but it is worth it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.